Oh, don't complain, young man. You're a very privileged person. You realize that very few people have seen this in this universe?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mr. TARDIS, and these days do not come around very often, and the Doctor Who fan community is absolutely buzzing right now because, and this is not a drill, we can confirm, 2 lost Doctor Who episodes from the 1960s have been found in a private collection, and not only that, we're going to be able to see them in their entirety very soon. But first, a tiny little bit of context. I'm going to approach this topic as if you have no idea what any of this means. Basically, pre-1970s television material was seen as very disposable. You make it once, you broadcast it once, and it will hardly ever be repeated. It might be sold overseas, so that's, there are some additional prints there, but for the most part, these were meant to be broadcast once, and then you basically junk the footage. You either tape over it, or you get rid of it, or whatever, to make more storage space, because these are film canisters that take up physical storage space, and the BBC only has a finite amount of space. So as a result, a lot of media from those formative television years are completely lost to time, and Doctor Who fans are incredibly lucky that so much of, their favourite show has survived through the decades. However, as of yesterday at time of recording, there were thought to be 97 lost Doctor Who episodes, and these episodes include all of Marco Polo, all of Power of the Daleks, the first ever regeneration in the last episode of The 10th Planet, and things like that. It's kind of a miracle that we have, for example, every single episode of the War Games, that we have the unaired pilot from 1963. But now, as of today, that 97 number has now changed to 95, because we now have 2 episodes from the Daleks Master Plan. And if you'd said to me, at the beginning of this year, that we're going to find 2 episodes of the Daleks Master Plan, I don't know if I would have believed you, because when it comes to missing Doctor Who episodes, that like those aforementioned examples, I'd love to see episodes of Marco Polo or the Myth Makers, but I'd take the Space Pirates or anything like that. But the fact that it is the Daleks Master Plan during Dalek Mania in the 1960s, these 2 massive episodes, one of these episodes was viewed at the time by over 10 million people, like these are the big stories that people really want to see. And indeed, the Daleks Master Plan, which was a 12-episode epic back in the 1960s, it's basically akin to like a mini-series. Before today, we already had 3 episodes from the Daleks Master Plan. We have episode 2 called Day of Armageddon, we have episode 5 called Counterplot, and episode 10 Escape Switch. And episode 10 is a really interesting one as well, because that episode has the meddling monk in it. Episode 2 was returned in 1993, episodes 5 and 10 were found in the basement of a Mormon church in 1983, and now episodes 1 and 3 have been found in a private collection. Here's the BBC News article breaking it down. Lost Doctor Who episodes found in eclectic collection. A cardboard box found in a collector's ramshackle collection of vintage films contained 2 episodes of Doctor Who that have not been viewed since airing in the 1960s. The episodes feature the first incarnation of the Doctor, played by William Hartnell, tackling a Dalek plan to take over Earth, the solar system, and the galaxy in a storyline only ever shown in the UK. Yeah, what's interesting about Dalek's Master Plan, and sorry to interrupt the article, I'm just very excited, is that these were episodes that we thought we'd never see again. For example, Dalek's Master Plan, episode 7, is called The Feast of Stephen, and it's basically Doctor Who's first ever Christmas special. It was never broadcast outside of its original time slot, and it was never sold overseas because it was a disposable filler episode that was basically a Christmas special, which means that, for as far as we're aware, Feast of Stephen is a destroyed, missing episode in the truest terms, with basically no hope of ever seeing it again. And we thought that many other episodes of the Daleks Master Plan were the same, but no. These 2 episodes that have been found are test prints, very similar to when the Ice Warriors was found several years ago. Those 4 episodes were also test prints. Peter Purvis, who played the Doctor's assistant Stephen Taylor, was invited to the Phoenix Cinema in Leicester on Wednesday under false pretenses to view the 2 episodes, and he said, "My flabber has never been so gasted." Restored versions of the episode will be released on BBC iPlayer this Easter. So we're going to be seeing these 2 episodes of the Daleks Master Plan on the iPlayer within about a month. Fans now have the first 3 installments of the Daleks Master Plan arc. Written by the creator of the Daleks, Terry Nation, and Dennis Spooner, the serial starred Hartnell and Purvis alongside an early appearance of Nicholas Courtney as Brett Vian, Adrian Hill as Katerina, and Kevin Stoney as Mavic Chen. So how did they become the first Lost Doctor Who episodes to be announced to the world since 2013? The work of Leicester Charitable Trust Film is Fabulous, FIF, is behind what has become the longest gap between Lost episodes being uncovered coming to an end. Many previous Lost episodes had been found in the archives of TV stations overseas, including the last episodes found, which had been recovered from a Nigerian TV station. For those keeping track, those 2 episodes were from The Enemy of the World and The Web of Fear back in 2013. But with the Daleks Master Plan, the story was not sold overseas. Censors in Australia and New Zealand deemed it too violent, and without their buy-in, selling to other markets was not profitable. Combined with the move towards colour, the black and white story was thought to have little future value and consigned to the bin. But copies of some episodes were still made by technicians to check for problems which might need to be fixed ahead of pitching the episodes to other markets. It's these versions that made their way to an amateur collection. So going back a few months to a year, the Doctor Who Missing Episodes podcast, which I'll put a link to down below, they did a podcast with the Film is Fabulous charity, and the Film is Fabulous charity basically confirmed that there was indeed a Doctor Who Lost episode in a private collection of somebody who had recently deceased. And the family, the estate, were trying to figure out what to do with this extensive film collection. And the person who owned the collection was not a big TV or Doctor Who enthusiast. He was more obsessed, from what I can tell, obsessed with trains and canal boats and stuff. And that was what so much of the footage contained. And according to the Film is Fabulous charity, in this extensive collection, there were 6 full Doctor Who episodes. 2 of them are the missing Daleks Master Plan episodes that we're talking about, and we don't know exactly what the other 4 are. They've not fully confirmed it, but I think one of them is The Executioners, aka Part 1 of The Chase, which we already have in the archives, but these 4 episodes that already exist will still be returned to the BBC archives because they may be of a slightly higher quality than what the BBC currently already has, or there may even be some deleted scenes or extended scenes and that we just previously don't have. For example, the Time Meddler story has some deleted scenes that were cut due to foreign censorship, so there is a chance that there may be some extended cuts or deleted scenes in some of these episodes. Going back to the article, Professor of Cinema and Television History at Leicester's De Montfort University, Justin Smith, a chairee of trustees at Film is Fabulous, said a debt of gratitude was owed to the anonymous late collector, whose films, largely focused on his love of trains and canals, including hundreds of home videos, were donated to Film is Fabulous after he died. He said, "We travel all over the country to recover film collections from private hands. A lot of the films had suffered water damage and the cans had corroded. These are gems in what was an eclectic and ramshackle collection, a lot of which hadn't been looked after as well as the Doctor Who had." The collector did recognise what he had, but how he acquired them has been lost to time. After viewing the 2 episodes, Peter Purvis said, "My flabber has never been so gasted," although he quipped, "I've never forgiven the BBC for losing those episodes. It would be really nice to get a few royalties." A special screening of the 2 episodes organised by Film is Fabulous with Purvis as guest of honour is being held in London on April 4th. Details of the event are yet to be announced, but it will take place on the same day the 2 restored episodes are made available in full on BBC iPlayer. Noreen Adams, director of BBC Archives, said she was thrilled the episode would be released on BBC iPlayer. She said BBC Archives has been working to restore the original recordings and update these to broadcast quality, ensuring fans can enjoy a little extra treat with their Easter eggs this April. We also have an official press release from the Film is Fabulous charity. I will put a link to them in the description below if you want to learn more, or if you want to donate to them as well, because these are a group of dedicated volunteers. Film is Fabulous have recovered 2 missing episodes of Doctor Who which feature William Hartnell in the title role. These are the first missing episodes of Doctor Who to be announced since 2013. The recovery reduces the number of missing episodes to 95. Film is Fabulous is a charitable trust run by film collectors, cinema lovers and vintage television enthusiasts. Its primary objective is to ensure that vulnerable film collections held in the UK are preserved when private film collectors and former industry professionals pass away. Since 2013, the team have preserved many private film collections. And we can see here as well, we've got a few screenshots from The Nightmare Begins and a few more from Devil's Planet. And the BBC News website does have a few proper clips from the episode as well to tease.
Daleks!
It's so good. Right, so there's a lot to talk about here. Obviously, it's brilliant that we have lost Doctor Who episodes being returned to the collection. Of course, a massive debt of gratitude is owed to Film is Fabulous and of course the anonymous collector who did preserve and look after the collection that he had and has allowed us to have these 2 episodes of Doctor Who in a good condition. But what I've already seen from some very enthusiastic and well-meaning fans is, oh, we found 2 episodes of the Daleks Master Plan, okay, what else can we find? Where's Mythmakers? Where's Space Pirates and all of this stuff? And I think we need to just take a moment and just appreciate these 2 episodes and what we have right now before we run away with potential future finds. I'm not here to rain on anyone's parade when it comes to speculation and hopes for the future, but let's actually watch these 2 episodes and enjoy them, because these are some very great episodes that we really, really want to watch. We're hearing from people who have already seen the episodes and they're talking about how great the direction from Douglas Camfield is, and I can't wait to see those camera movements, and I can't wait to see more from William Hartnell and Peter Purves. And Adrian Hill, who played doomed companion Katerina, now that we have 2 more of her episodes, we've basically tripled the amount of Katerina material that's in the archives, and I want to see that. One of the Holy Grail missing Doctor Who episodes is the episode of The Web of Fear featuring Nicholas Courtney's first appearance as the Brigadier, or the Colonel in that episode. However, Nicholas Courtney does appear in the Daleks Master Plan as Brett Vian, and now that we have episode 1 of the Daleks Master Plan, we now have Nicholas Courtney's first appearance in Doctor Who, and that's worth celebrating. I remember a couple of years ago when there was that controversy about whether or not An Unearthly Child would wind up on the BBC iPlayer because the original writer's son has completely gone off the deep end. And I remember talking about how, you know, on principle, it's just sad that we don't have these episodes as easily accessible in a complete collection on the BBC iPlayer. And a big part of that is about the legacy and the pseudo-immortality of the people in front of and behind the camera. And now that we have these 2 episodes and we're able to see the direction from Douglas Camfield, we're able to see Adrian Hill as Katerina and Kevin Stoney as Mavic Chen and Nicholas Courtney as Brett Vian and Peter Purves as Stephen and more William Hartnell as the Doctor, then we have more of this material to appreciate and enjoy, and I think that's a wonderful thing. I should have said that's a fabulous thing. I should have said that's a Film is Fabulous thing. And I think it's wonderful that Peter Purves, who essentially from the cast is the last actor standing, I think it's wonderful that he's alive to be able to see and appreciate this and enjoy this. And you can see from the interviews and from the witness testimony of the people who were there just how much this means to him and how much he just appreciates that his, you know, he still has this legacy and that he's still adored, and that this Doctor Who for him is the role that just keeps on giving. And I think that's absolutely wonderful. A part of me is like, oh, out of the 2 episodes of the Daleks Master Plan that they could have found, couldn't they have found, you know, the one with the death of Katerina? Couldn't they have found the episodes which we don't already have a handful of some small clips of? Because we already have the death of that soldier in part 1. We already have the pyro flame scene from part 3. These are just some small cuttings. So we've already seen this stuff, but, you know, we should just be grateful for anything we get. Like I've said before, Doctor Who fans have been spoiled by having so much presumed missing material be found. For crying out loud, we found Tomb of the Cybermen. I say we in terms of Doctor Who fans or fans of classic TV in general, but obviously, you know, many of these discoveries were made before I was even born. So much of this hard work and in terms of archiving and preservation has been done by people way older and way more in the trenches than me. I'm just a bloody commentator at this point who's grateful to be walking in their slipstream, who's grateful to be able to enjoy the work that has been done by other people for people like me. Like I've said, I will put a link to the Doctor Who Missing Episodes podcast in the description, and also the Film is Fabulous website in the description below if you wanted to make a donation. But yeah, thank you to everyone involved in the finding and the preservation of these pieces of Doctor Who history that are now tangible again and we can now enjoy in as little as a month. It's absolutely outstanding. Will that 95 number change again? Will it get lower? Fingers crossed, but for now we'll take a breather. We'll enjoy these 2 episodes when they drop on Easter, and I cannot wait to see them. Thank you so much for watching this video. The channel's been on a little bit of a hiatus over the past couple of weeks and months because I'm currently working full-time on another job. That's basically taking up all of my time at the moment, so I'm not able to make videos full-time at the moment. So I appreciate all your patience. I appreciate all your support. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and where's Marco Polo? Where is Marco Polo?